So yeah, I want to dedicate tonight's video to the late great Boreas Salming, who, you know, as a kid growing up in the late 70s hockey, and I was a crappy hockey player, to be honest with you, but it was Boreas Salming, Darryl Sittler, Mike Palmateer, Tiger Williams, you know, Ian Turnbull, all those guys, the late 70s Leafs, you know. Yeah, they never won a cup, but, you know, we always look forward to the Toronto versus Boston, Toronto versus Montreal games. And, you know, as a kid who just started playing hockey, and again, like I said, I sucked, but, you know, it was just a great time, you know. And watching Salming and Darryl Sittler and, you know, Lanny McDonald, those were the days. I don't care if I'm reminiscing, but, you know, those were the days of real hockey. You know, anyways, enjoy the video and enjoy your week. Ah, yes, it's that ritual of having to get up every fucking 20 minutes and flip the fucking record over. Why did I fucking get back into this? There's a reason. And what's the point? YouTube's gonna cut it anyways. Hey guys, so tonight it's probably the last equipment review video that I'm ever going to do on this channel, because quite honestly my videos ain't been getting that many views lately, because they do kind of suck, which that's my fault. But the Xpona videos, especially the Jolita interview, was kind of disappointing, but a lot of it's content based, obviously. You know, I'm not as slick as the other reviewers. I never, you know, intended to ever be that slick. You know, I'm continuously shooting with an iPhone, right? Anyways, I just got the PS Audio Stellar Phono Preamp. Now, a friend of mine from the Audio Video Club here in Phoenix, before he went back to Minnesota, you know, he spends his winters down here, and 2 years ago, he bought the Stellar Phono Preamp designed by Darren Myer. And he said it was the next best thing since sliced bread. I mean, Fremer said it, and don't get me started on him. I got a Fremer story that I'm going to share in a later video one of these days, but not today. It's not the place for it. Fremer raved about it. So did a bunch of other reviewers. I think the Italian guy, I keep forgetting his name, but I watch his videos every week. You know, he raved about it, and I heard it. My friend Dave brought it over here, and it just blew my, you know, Tim DePirovicini preamp, the MoFi preamp, just blew it out of the water. But then you're comparing a $350 preamp to a $2,500 preamp, and it's not about the dollar value. These things are designed with a price point, but the TDM MoFi preamp, for its price, I don't think there's anything under $1,000 that'll come anywhere close to it. You know, I don't care who it is. This thing is so flexible. You can load it with any cartridge you like, right? And again, this does it even better, right? Because I can actually get down to the 20 ohms that Ortofon recommends for the Quintet Black that I got running on the MoFi deck. And I'm hearing stuff that I never really heard before when I had the MoFi preamp connected in. Bass extension, it's pretty much the same for both, but it's the weirdest thing. There's details in the grooves, and I know people have said this shit. I've heard this shit in other YouTube reviews. Never fucking believed it until tonight. You know, I put on, where the fuck is it? Where's Mr. Evans? It's this one here. This is the first thing I put on when I plugged this guy in. You know, again, I don't believe in burn-in or warm-up, but, you know, we were watching Firefly Lane, my wife and I, so while we were finishing that off, no spoilers, I let this thing stay on for a little bit, and I popped this guy on. And I thought every time the bow was going across the bass players, and I forget who the bass player is. Anyhow, I thought it was something wrong with the preamp making some kind of weird noise. No, it was actually the hitting of the bow against the strings. And I'm like, no fucking way. There's no fucking way. And it's true. I mean, it was there in the MoFi preamp, but it was buried. So you didn't really notice it unless you listened for it. But on this thing, like, holy fuck. You know? So that was my first experience with it. Oops, shit, I almost knocked over my wine. God damn it. So yeah, it just blew my mind right there and then. Yeah, and I've bought way too many records in the last month and a half, or 2 months actually, than I should be, but anyhow. You know, and then I put on my usual suspects. I put on my Miles Davis Kind of Blue, played side 3 and 4 from Pink Floyd Pulse. A little parched. And I was like, shit, all the Q sound effects from Pulse, whereas they were there when I listened to them on the MoFi preamp, they were really fucking there. Like, it really seemed like the 901s were turned on in the back, right? I was like, shit, okay, so this is doing everything that it's supposed to. What else? You'll see in the pictures that I forgot to connect the ground lead. I did connect it later on and didn't make a damn difference, but that's okay. It's a feel-good thing. I'm not going to say that everything went up a level. And no, that's all bullshit. It didn't make a difference with the ground on or the ground off, whatever. But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a short video because, I mean, well, look, I set everything up, moving coil. I set it to low gain. I set it to custom loading. Obviously, because it's moving coil, there's no resistor to ground nonsense. It's just a series resistor from the input going into, and this is all discrete operational amplifier circuits that Darren did, because he found, doing things discrete, as you know, I'll link to the videos that he did with the club and some other interviews that he did, and some promotional stuff that he did where he explained the design process. And if you notice too here, I got some hockey pucks under here because I don't believe in those fucking $300-400 fucking vibration isolator bullshit. I mean, you ever hit one of these things with a hockey stick? There's enough fucking vibration dampening to fucking, take a guy's knee out if you hit him hard enough, close enough, you know what I mean? But yeah, I use hockey pucks for everything. They're under the klipsches, they're under the tulip stands of the 901s, just to decouple them from the ceramic tile floor. I don't put them behind the klipsches, just to give them that 10-degree tilt. Works fine. They don't buzz, they don't rattle, they don't dance around the floor. But the reason I did this was not for vibration dampening, but I needed the airflow for both the Bat preamp and for this guy, because again, like I mentioned, Darren uses discrete operational amplifier circuits, right? So there's no chips in the audio signal pads. There are chips on here for control circuits and, all the other cool features on here. But yeah, and the main thing was I wanted to make sure that the heat from the 86H30s inside of this guy, yeah, it goes up here a bit, but I don't give a shit. I don't want it getting up to the turntable level or up here, because that wouldn't be a good thing. And that's basically the video, guys. I mean, you've seen the other YouTube videos on here. They go into all kinds of weird depth and details and all kinds of crazy stuff, but that's all I gotta say. It's a great fucking preamp, I got it used on USA Audio Mart. The gentleman that sold it to me left me a nice note inside, and I did it over some payment plans with him. It was really awesome. I mean, I did the same thing with Gary Gill when I bought the PS Audio DAC and transport from him, and the same thing with I forget the gentleman's name out in California when I bought the klipsches. I mean, I'm not gonna kill myself for all this great audio gear, right? And I'm not gonna fucking throw it down on credit cards and put myself into more debt. And I don't recommend anybody else do it, because been there, done it, ain't ever gonna do it again. if a guy's a private seller and he's willing to take payment plans, you're getting pretty much brand new equipment for, you know, half or less than half than what it sold for originally, and you're good to go. You know, I don't need PS Audio's latest transport or the latest DAC. I need a fucking hole in the head, right? I know they're coming out with there's going to be an upper tier of this. I don't know how they can make. I don't know how Darren and the folks over at PS Audio can make it better than this, you know. But I was blown away with all the tiny little details that I didn't hear before, and I can honestly say, to wrap this video up, PS Audio does have a sound, because I can faithfully say that this Phono Preamp sounds as good as that transport and DAC combination, or even that transport and that DAC combination. You know, I can't, you know, I don't do flowery fucking adjectives, you know. I hate when I see it in print. I hate when YouTube reviewers do, because it just bores the fuck out of me. As I've said 1,000 times before, it either sounds like shit, or it sounds like crap, or it sounds good, or it sounds pretty good, or it sounds fucking good, or it's fucking amazing. This is in that fucking amazing category, as is that cartridge. This table, you know, to me it's just a fucking belt with a pulley. I don't understand all these big exotic turntables and what's the big deal, you know. Yeah, guys, that's about it. I think from the next few videos that I'm going to do, it's going to be more on concert experiences that I had as a kid and now, because I mean, quite honestly, I don't have any equipment to review after this, and this is going to be, there's going to be more talking head type videos. I might bring back the whole what was that fucking audiophile series that God damn it, you see what happens? I'm going to be 53 in a week and a half, right? The Jaded Audiophile. Yeah, I might bring that back. You know, because there are a lot of shit that I've been seeing lately that's been kind of pissing me off, you know. And yeah, guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching again, and hope you have a good rest of your week. I know I will. Cheers once again. All the best.